Ooh, welcome to a podcast for nerds, the show where two dudes that met as kids discuss our journey with all things nerdy as well as life in our 30s. I'm 31 now, and so is he. And happy New Year.
Yeah, happy 2024. I'm Cody.
I'm Dakota.
Yeah, welcome to the show. So I just noticed my hair looks... I need a haircut, guys. Don't judge my hair today.
No, you got anime boy hair.
Kinda, yeah. It just doesn't look
You
as
just
good.
need to put that down a little bit, and then it's like in your eye.
But it doesn't look great in real life. It looks good in anime, but in real life, especially in your 30s.
I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. It looks all right.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm looking good. Dakota, what's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, guys? How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, guys, we should talk about the elephant in the room really quickly, which is...
What if I just pulled up an elephant?
I wish.
God.
We should have a little elephant plushie or something. And we just pull it up.
All right, let's bring up the elephant in the room.
It's a
Put it
good
right back
joke.
down.
It'd be funny once, but
But we just keep doing it.
it would become a running bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be funny.
Does Rhett on Good Mythical Morning, does he still say what when they do Tokyo?
He does, but he's mentioned in the podcast that he hates it
Oh,
because it's gotten so out of hand where he has to do it for so long that he actually feels like it hurts his voice. He feels bad after doing it. It gets kind of annoyed with it, but he still does it. If Tokyo comes up, he'll still do it.
that's good.
But
It's tradition.
yeah, I understand hating it at this point because when you see him do it on the newer episodes, it's like a minute of Tokyo. It's like, bro.
Why? He doesn't need to go that long.
Well, okay, I shouldn't say the newer episodes. Maybe like a couple years ago. The newer ones, I think after mentioning it on the podcast, he has like comments were like, it's okay, Rhett, you don't have to go so hard. So now he's shortened it again.
Okay. Rhett, please.
Don't kill yourself,
Save
Rhett.
yourself.
Yeah, we need you at prime Rhett for as long as possible.
That's funny.
But anyway, the elephant in the room, if you are a longtime viewer, is that we disappeared suddenly, and that's my fault. Dakota and I met in I left in September, so we met early September probably, and filmed 2 more episodes, wrapping out last year's season, and I edited them, prepared them for posting, and then left them on my PC here. And then went off with my laptop to another country and thought I had moved them to my hard drive. I remember my second day in Korea, I was sitting there on my hard drive trying to find them, and I'm like, oh my God. You're kidding.
Well, they'll be the lost episodes.
Yeah, well, they've been deleted.
Oh.
I was planning to have them be the lost episodes, but after my trip to Korea and Japan, I have so much footage. I am like grasping at straws for space. I need to buy a hard drive. So I was like, these gotta go. Like, sorry, but I need the space bad. And well, I needed the space because my white hard drive died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's the one that it was 4 terabytes on that hard drive, and it suddenly started dying. And there's a program called Crystal Disk Info you can use to check the hard drive's health. And it was like, move everything.
Now.
Oh, yeah, and I'm like, oh God. So, but
Where do you keep all the old SBR stuff?
It's on this one right here.
Woo-hoo.
This chonker of a hard drive.
Wow.
Oh,
It even
God.
has a go. Dang, you're gonna
I'm
hit
hitting the mic so much. Yeah,
Hit
it's
it
a
one more time. Why don't you?
4 terabyte my book. Yeah,
Wow, it looks like a book.
yeah.
Indeed.
It really does, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But-
maybe that's the point? It's supposed to kind of look like.
I never considered that. I think you're right. Yeah, you open it up there.
Oh, it opens up?
No, but it
Oh.
looks like it would, right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like pages.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah, but also on here, I don't know if you know we have this, do you remember Nate's first house? And I think it's before you were living there, but we were going there using the studio. When he was very, very first moving in,
Yeah.
we recorded a like interview. We were making a documentary.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I just found that on here yesterday.
Whoa.
All the footage is still here.
I'm sure that audio is terrible.
I almost deleted it, and then I was like, you can't delete this.
Don't delete.
I was like, I haven't looked at it all
That's
yet.
history.
But yeah, I'm like, I need to look at this stuff and see it. But
Yeah, maybe we can all just sit down and go through it someday.
it'd be cool to react to.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and then we get some of them that were like, "Wah!"
Yeah, it's like, oh, that was acceptable in
That was
2014.
my penis.
Yeah, my penis was acceptable in 2014, but not anymore.
Oh,
Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry about the sudden.
sorry about talking about my penis.
Sorry about it. Sorry about everything. We're starting fresh. It's 2024. It's a new start.
We even got a new logo.
New logo, which I just worked up last night.
I got a new shirt. You still wearing that shirt though? You went to Japan and you didn't get any shirts.
No, I have new shirts, but they're dirty. I literally went to my like clothes this morning, and I'm like, dang.
Nothing new.
Yeah, I was like, I guess this one again.
I was gonna wear this cool dragon shirt that I wore it last night. But it was just an overshirt on another undershirt like this one. And I was like, well, I didn't really sweat, and I was like, I want to show it off because it's really cool. And then I picked it up, and we're at the bar. I went to a bar last night, and the bar was a smoking bar, and I put it on, and I was just like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that today. So I
see.
switched to this really rad Crash Bandicoot shirt that my really awesome sister JC got for me. It's got logo there, but then the back.
Very cool. Crash.
Crash Bandicoot. Now, if I could get a Spyro one that matched, I'd be in heaven.
That would be so sick.
Now, because as much as I love Crash, and I do, I have always been much more of a Spyro guy myself. What about you?
Me too.
Spyro?
I like. Well, when I was a kid, I was more into Crash, but as an adult, I recently played the Spyro Reignited trilogy, the remake, and I'm like, this is way better than Crash. So I'm more into it now.
I mean, Crash is, oh my gosh, Crash to me is like, it's, at least the first two, like when you play them, it feels like the perfect evolution of like a 2D Mario game brought into 3D.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's no exploration, no 3D.
Yeah.
It's literally go and do this level, and it's exactly like a Mario level, Mega Man level, but you're just going forward rather than side to side.
Or at the screen.
Yeah, Oh,
I don't like those
suck.
levels.
I hate those levels.
Yeah.
They're infamous, and that's the one they choose to make you do in Uncharted.
And well, no, they're famous for that because in Jack 2 as well, there's a part where you play as Daxter and you're doing the same thing. You're running at the camera. It's exactly
Don't
Crash
you
Bandicoot.
do that? You do that in Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. They put it in their games. Probably not. I don't think that ever happened in Last of Us, but
Can't imagine where it would work.
yeah, it's a cool little. They keep calling back to it, even though I hate it. I was just playing Jack 2 last week, and I did that level with Daxter, and I'm like, this freaking sucks. I had to do it like 6 times because I'm like, there's a platform in front of me moving back and forth, and I can't see it because the way the camera's facing. I'm like,
God.
how do I know? How do I know where to jump?
That's really funny.
What do you expect? But yeah, I like Spyro more.
Same.
Did you play Reignited?
I have it on the Switch, but I haven't played all of it.
Oh, I haven't played all of it either, to be fair. I'm halfway through.
I originally had it for PS4 because of Spyro and PlayStation, but then I traded it in and got it for Switch because I was like, I want to take Spyro with me.
Yeah, I feel you. I want to take Kingdom Hearts with me.
But they won't let you.
If you could please, make
You can
a
do
not
it.
cloud version.
Yeah, you can do it in a really roundabout way.
So annoying.
Doesn't that mean you have to be connected to the internet?
Yeah, and a good internet to make it
so
work.
dumb.
It's so stupid. I can't believe they did that. Anyway, yeah, Crash. I feel like with Crash, it's a great game, but I don't think it. I think Jack is like the evolution of Crash, like where it actually becomes 3D, and it's like that's where to me it's like this is a
I
great
have the
game.
Jack collection for PS3, so
You ever play it?
I started playing the first one, and I'm be honest, the tutorial level is confusing to me.
What?
I'm having well, mainly because I started playing. It's definitely a me problem. It's not the game's fault. Absolutely a me thing. But I put the game down. I started it just to get a feel. I was like, all right, cool. I'll come back to this. And then I didn't come back for like a month.
Okay,
And then I was like, what do I do?
bro. Jack is so easy to play. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I keep running around like, okay, I'm talking to everybody, but I'm not progressing anywhere.
Oh, and Jack 1, you're talking about Jack 1, right?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to necessarily talk to everybody. I mean, you can.
Well, I was trying to figure out where to go. Like, okay, if I talk to this person, maybe it'll give me, oh, hey, Jack, have you done this yet? Oh, okay, let me go over there and do that thing.
Well, that's the fun thing about Jack 1 is this came out before the time of like mini maps and like go here and do this. And so Jack 1's idea is it was actually one of the first ever open games with no load screens.
Oh, really?
There's no load screen in Jack 1.
I never thought about that.
And that's an early PS2 game. That's really rare. So the idea of Jack 1 is
It was
like
actually Naughty Dog.
what?
It wasn't rare.
Oh my god, shut up. That was a good joke, but I did not get it. The idea for Jack 1 is just run around and it's like the evolution of the rare games. Run around and collect stuff.
Okay.
Like the goal is to get precursor orbs.
Right.
Or no, right? No, the precursor orbs are the small ones. The power cells, to get
Okay,
power
yeah,
cells. And then you'll just once you get enough, someone will come on your little radio thing and say, "Hey Jack, you got enough. Meet me over here." And that's it. Yeah, don't overthink it.
Okay.
But
So I guess did you have anything else you wanted to add or say?
well, if we're talking about Jack really quickly, I don't know if you guys know, and I'm not saying that you should play this because legality, I don't know. But if you own the disc, maybe it's okay. Fans actually ported Jack 1 and 2 to PC natively to play native, meaning like you're not using an emulator.
Oh.
So you just click it on your computer and it opens up and runs perfectly in 60 frames per second, 4K, like up-res textures.
Put that on your Steam Deck.
It's amazing. Not that I've played it, but I do own the discs. So even if I did, it's all right.
You paid for it. It was paid for.
I've paid for Jack so many times. Yeah, I played it on PS2 and PS3.
Did you fumble through that?
I did.
Oh my god, that was bad.
Yeah. Oh, also, speaking of we didn't mention, but speaking of the platformers, I recently played the new Ratchet and Clank, and it's amazing.
Oh, how did you do?
It's on PC now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they ported it earlier this year, and that was what I wanted the most. And so for Christmas, I got some Steam gift cards. I'm like, oh, here we go, Ratchet and Clank.
How is it?
It's amazing.
How's the girl character? She looked really cool.
She's awesome. She's super awesome.
Cool.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna like her or not, but I'm like, yeah, if they made the next game, like if they wanted to retire Ratchet and they wanted Rivet, her name's Rivet, to be the main character, I'd be down.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I have a bunch of the Ratchet and Clank games. I love Ratchet and Clank. I think of the big three PlayStation mascots, PlayStation 2 mascots, which would be Sly Cooper, Jack Dexter, and Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably put Ratchet and Clank as my favorite.
I would too. And
there was a time when you would say Jack. Though.
Absolutely. But what changed my mind is how prolific Ratchet and Clank is now. Like,
and how consistently good each game is.
Because they just keep making them and keep making them better and better. Like Jack stayed PS2. It never got a chance to evolve.
So did Sly Cooper, but Sly Cooper also had a lot of steam. And then they were like, "All right, cliffhanger, nothing."
Well, they did do PS3 Sly Cooper.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they let it evolve a little.
Yeah, it did, but it was still at its core. It's still like, oh, this is like. Because I went from Sly 2 to Sly 4, the Thieves in Time.
You didn't play Sly 3?
I started playing Sly 3, but it just wasn't. It wasn't hooking me in. But now I kind of regret that. At the time, it wasn't hooking me in, and I had Sly 4, and it was just sitting there.
That's the problem. You're like, I know I got the nice new fancy one.
I just really wanted to see because I really liked Sly 2. Sly 2's my favorite.
I think Sly 1's my favorite, but that's probably nostalgia.
Sly 1 I can't stand because it's life based.
Yeah, I die a lot in
this day and age, I ain't got time for life-based games.
I think the reason it's okay for me is because I'm good at Sly. I played it so many times. I mean, I'm just because of playing it so much.
Oh yeah.
Like I replayed it again like 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is awesome. I love this game.
So that's what I was gonna get into. Do you have anything else?
Oh, I did
about Ratchet.
Yeah, really quickly. I wanted to recommend for anyone who liked those old PS2 platformers, play this game because it's a love letter to all of the. Literally, I'm sorry. Okay, quick spoiler for an Easter egg that's really cool. Jack and Dexter are literally in this game.
Cool.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you where or when or what happens, but there's also there's things from every PS2 era platformer in this game. It's like
Like a little item from God of War or something.
or even sound effects, because the sound effect when you drop in the water as Ratchet is the sound effect from Jak 1 when he dies in the water. It's exactly the same. It's like Insomniac knew that they're the only ones carrying this torch, so they're like, we're going to make this a love letter to all of them.
And they do it consistently well.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people still try to like, oh, we're going to redo and make another 2D action platformer. And it's like, and then it just comes out kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just take a look at like what Insomniac does? Or
Yeah.
Just try.
Yeah, I don't know.
I shouldn't say that. That's not fair, but
I'm just really happy Insomniac still made. I don't know if we'll get more or not. I always think we're never going to get more Ratchet, and then we always do. But I mean, they're so popular making Spider-Man now. They could just put all their resources into that. But I'm so glad they still are willing to be goofy and make Ratchet.
oh yeah.
Well-
And those Spider-Man games are kind of goofy too.
I need to play them. I have not played a single one.
God, 2018. That was only because I didn't play God of War at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was my goatee of 2018.
Really?
hmm
Oh yeah, because you didn't play God of War. So
Speaking of God of War,
I haven't played the new one still. You played it?
oh yeah,
It's great.
it's so good.
Man, I remember when the first one came out, yelling at you to play it.
Well, well, my problem was with it is I played it on normal level,
Mm.
and it's
Oh, it's
kinda,
hard.
It's kind of not an easy game.
No, I turned my difficulty down to easy at one point.
That's what I did. That's finally when I was like, I really want to play this game, but God, it's so. And then I looked and I was like, oh, I can switch my difficulty, and that was after I decided to switch my difficulty down from Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it's the same thing,
Uh-huh.
and my life was so much better.
It is. I just played a game recently where I switched the difficulty down, but I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Tell me about God of War.
But oh my God, dude, same thing. I just went ahead and played it on easy.
Oh, you didn't even try on
No,
normal.
I was like, I'm not even doing this. I just wanted the story.
Maybe they balanced it better.
No, I'm not
Oh.
even risking it.
Okay.
I just wanted the story. I like really didn't do a whole lot of side quests, which I know adds a lot to the game. I did a few. There was one frustrating thing at the end. I was really, I couldn't figure out how to fix it either. I needed like a dragon tooth, like 2 or 3 dragon teeth to complete this dragon set armor that was like one of the
Oh,
strongest in the
gosh.
game before I went on to the final battle.
Uh-huh.
And I found this dragon, and I'm going and I'm fighting it, and I don't know what happened, but I killed it. But right as it died, its last attack hit me and killed me.
I had that happen in something recent. That's so frustrating.
But then what happened is, I'm like, crap. Okay, I was able to do it. You know, I had it on easy mode, so it wasn't that difficult. But it was still a dragon. They're hard.
Yeah.
So like, all right, let's do it again. It took me like 2-3 minutes, whatever. I go back to that area. The dragon is there. The dragon is there. It will not attack me.
Oh, it's glitched out?
Yes.
It's like a game breaking.
Yes. I
Even
couldn't-
reloading.
reloading it, resaving it. The only way I could have done is if I'd gone back to a save point that was like 2.5 hours before.
Should have done it. No, should have done it.
No, I
Shoulda
was like,
done it.
no, I was. Oh my God! And then I looked up videos of people that had the same issue.
Really?
Yeah, and like I wasn't the only one. And there was this roundabout way you could go where you get this spear later that's like an infinity spear.
Okay.
And if you go, you can glitch him to where he's like standing on a platform in the middle of nowhere. And then if he flies down, then he'll just die.
Oh, okay.
But I could
Weird.
never do it right.
That's really frustrating.
And then his loot pops up. And then the more frustrating thing is there's a character that you got to free because you think that there's a character that has passed. I
Okay.
won't say who, but you think a character dies, and then you got to go do this thing to find him and fight this dragon. But you can't interact with him until you kill the dragon.
Oh.
So I'm in there. Dragon's flying around me, won't attack me, but I'm like, all right, well, there's the dude. And the dude's just sitting there. Looks up at me like, And I'm like, let's go.
The dragon's busy, dude.
He
Come
doesn't even
on.
And I couldn't get it, man. I was so frustrating. But other than that, I'll give it a 10.
Yeah, I heard people really loved it. I mean, I heard a lot of people wanting it to get GOTY 2022, but
That was the same
Elden
year as
Ring
Elden
came
Ring.
out that year,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying that I haven't played it, and I love the first God of War, so I'm sure it probably is GOTY worthy.
Mhm.
But Elden Ring's a gem, so sorry.
That's all right.
But I need to play it.
God, you will.
Is it on? It's not on PC yet, right?
I
Because
don't think so.
I've decided to not buy a PS5 because all the games keep coming to PC, and I will buy one if like when the PS6 is coming out, if when they're finishing the PS5, if there's still like a decent amount of games that never came to PC, then I can get everything discounted and I can play it all then. But for now, it just seems like after maybe 2 years, everything comes eventually. So it's like, why would I? I mean, I'd love to have a PS5, but it's expensive. So it's better to just wait it out.
I'm probably gonna end up getting one this year myself,
Mm.
just because I want to play Spider-Man.
But Spider-Man's on PC.
I don't want to play it that way.
Why? What's the difference?
Shut up.
It's the same.
No, it's not.
Actually, it's better.
And I want to play it on my TV.
You can.
I'd have to move the PC all the way over from where it
well,
is to where the TV is, and I ain't doing that.
No, just buy a long HDMI cable.
I
That's
go-
how I play.
I don't want to do that, Cody.
It's like $15.
Cody, is it your money?
I'm just saying. All
Is
right.
it your money, Cody?
All right.
I'll buy what I want.
You'd rather spend 500 or 400 on a PS4 than 15 on.
Are they discounted at 400 now?
Yeah, I think they did drop them.
Oh,
it was
that's-
450, right? Or was it 500?
They were 500. At
Oh, they
start.
dropped it 50, so it's 450.
Still.
My bad.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I wanted to get the Slim just because I have the Slim of every other version.
Uh huh.
But then the disc tray comes off and on. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Uh huh.
But then the disc tray, I don't remember if this is true or I didn't fully look into it, but I heard that it has to be connected to the internet constantly. And
Well, a lot of things do nowadays. I mean,
but the way my living situation is I don't have the most reliable internet currently.
oh, I see. Well,
So
I don't know.
it's again maybe a me problem, but it's still just kind of like, oh, come on, just want to put the game in and play it.
I definitely, when I was looking at getting a PS5, I definitely wanted the disc tray one, even though PC is all digital, right? But the cool thing to me about a PS5 is that I can pop in old games and they'll have like up-res version of it or whatever, right? That's how it works, right?
I think it's a little. It's not
it's
like
not every game, but there's some
God of
games I can
War,
put in.
God of War, I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, like I got all these PS4 games. It's like I want to be able to just throw it in my PS5, but if it's digital, so okay, well I can't do that. Like that's because you remember I don't have a PS4. The one sitting there is my brother's because he broke mine.
Do you want to borrow God of War? I can let you borrow it for PS4.
Not now.
Okay.
Maybe eventually. I'm pretty focused right now on. I'm only gaming a little bit. To be
Trying to
honest.
get your content out. I get it.
It's not just the content. I'm pretty serious about trying to get into the freelance video editing market this year.
Oh, okay.
I really want to like. I love teaching English, but where I teach English just does not pay well, and I want to keep doing
Pays
it.
well where you were living.
Yeah, but freelance editing, I know it's hard at first, and it's hard to get your name out there, and a lot of it's more about marketing yourself, and which I might have trouble with. But you can make, even if I don't make like crazy money off of it, I can almost easily make more than I'm making teaching. It's like I gotta probably do that.
Are you quitting the teaching? Or
Well, no, definitely not now for sure, because freelance editing will take time to build. But I guess if I really don't want to at all, but if I ended up somehow becoming pretty popular as an editor, then maybe I wouldn't have a choice because I'd have so much work. I don't know though. That's all just speculation.
Mm.
So we'll see. But
Um,
so what I'm saying is right now I'm focusing on getting my skills up editing wise. Like
That's fair.
I know how to edit, but there's a lot of stuff that clients might want that I don't know how to do
Mhm.
because I always just did the things I wanted for my channels.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to learn those things.
I've played around a little, not a lot, with the editing program you gave me.
Resolve.
Yeah, just a little. They haven't just toyed with it, just kind of like okay, here, there, nothing big.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I have told you, and I'm not going to go into details, but I've created a review scale for something I'm working on, and got a project in mind that I'd like to get started. I might need your help in the beginning with it because I need to know how to use video clips,
Use video clips.
like from the thing I want to talk about.
Okay. I think I can help with that. I'm
But,
sure I can.
But yeah, I got a whole thing I want to get to eventually, but that's eventually.
I see.
So, but yeah, I'm hopefully within the next, I'm going to say month or two, maybe, hopefully get something going. I say that just because I know my work ethic.
We'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, nothing, no more details than that. But
I did want to mention, because you mentioned God of War.
Yeah.
Norse mythology,
Okay.
right? That's what the new ones are, right?
Mhm.
I played a game recently that has a lot of Norse mythology, and I thought you might like it. You're into horror stuff more now, right? Kind of?
a little.
Do you like horror games? Okay, well, there's a game. You've heard of Alan Wake?
Yeah.
Okay, Alan Wake 2 came out the end of the year last
Do
year.
I need to play Alan Wake 1?
No.
Okay.
I've never played it. There's some connections. Doesn't matter.
Is it FPS or third
No,
person?
third person.
Okay. I'm just curious.
It's Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
Kind of, not exactly, but like more like that
Okay.
than less Resident Evil 7, more Resident Evil 4. Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
I'm fine with either. I'm a lot more accepting of first person stuff now.
I'm glad to hear that. Even though I don't play that much, but there's some good ones.
I still roll my eyes at certain things, like the new Avatar game that came out. They were like, "It's first person." I was like, "Cool." I didn't want to look at the cool Avatar person.
Well, you'll see others.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see me, Cody.
I feel like first person was almost a gimmick at one point because everyone wanted everything to be first person. Now it's like open world. That's been the gimmick for so long and still is. And it's like, can we just make like a cool game? Does everything need to be open world?
It doesn't need to be open world. We don't need to all have every game be first person. Don't need every game to be open world.
But a lot of them are changing now, I feel like. But anyway, Alan Wake 2, I didn't expect it. But yeah, it is so steeped in Norse mythology. And it's just a fantastic game. It's probably my game of the year for last year.
Really?
I played it at the very end of the year. So I didn't know. It was Armored Core for me before that.
What aspects about Norse mythology do they go into? Do you remember?
I don't really want to spoil it.
Fair.
To be honest, I want you to play it someday or watch somebody play it or something, like, because I think you'd like it a lot. And it's just a really fun game. It's really enjoyable.
I've heard it's good.
Story's great. Sound is amazing. And the graphics are like out of this world. Not that I need out of this world graphics, but it did kind of blow me away. Like, it's the first game I've played where my PC couldn't handle it, and I had to go in and do a lot of changing on settings. And eventually I got it working pretty well, but it's like, what? Everything works on this? Like, you gotta be kidding me.
So since we're more or less just doing catch up because this is our first time meeting.
We did have ramen.
Yeah,
but
we
it
had
was with
ramen.
the crew.
We need to talk about something.
We do?
Godzilla.
Oh, I got a Godzilla shirt. Should I go put it on?
If you want to.
Nah, it's gonna be a weird break in the podcast.
Maybe in the next episode.
We're not gonna talk about it then.
What?
We're not gonna be talking about it then.
But it'll still be a nice change.
Let's see. Oh, you hate this shirt that much?
No!
Oh my god!
I'm just used to it. I wouldn't wear a new shirt that I got for Christmas and then I come here and you're wearing that old
The
thing.
Godzilla shirt might be dirty. Is
Oh,
with a
sorry.
problem.
Yeah, I'm also, I'm just messing with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have wore your Godzilla shirt that we
It's
got
dirty.
you. I see. Yeah, we saw Godzilla -1.
You saw it before me with Drew, didn't invite me, the biggest Godzilla fan ever, or whatever.
Blame Drew. I wasn't the one setting it up.
As for everything, I'll blame Drew. I'm just kidding.
It was me, Drew, and TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is S tier.
I loved it. I
That's
thought
your
it was
first Godzilla movie.
So good. It's the first one, and now I probably won't enjoy any of the others because it's too good.
Again, you would probably really like the MonsterVerse movies. I think I told you about that.
Yeah, we talked about it.
You have till April
Oh, right.
for the new one.
Well, I've seen one of them.
Which
Kong.
one?
Skull Island. That's in
okay.
that verse, right?
Yeah.
I like Skull Island. That was a really good movie.
You should watch Godzilla 2014, but know that it's really boring.
That's in that universe?
Mhm.
Do I need to?
Kinda.
If it's really boring, I don't want to.
It's you will like it, but it's like just know that it's a 2-hour movie and Godzilla is in 8 minutes of the movie.
Are the people interesting? Dakota, you're not selling this movie. It's
God-
nothing.
I'm just saying because it is kind of important to where.
Can I read a synopsis or watch a synopsis on YouTube instead?
Tell you what, watch a synopsis and then just watch a video of the 8-minute video of all the
Oh.
Godzilla scenes.
Okay.
That way you can be like, sweet, he's
That
cool.
sounds way better. I'd rather do that.
Watch a synopsis because it is. I have it and I'll watch it again. No, you know what? I will say do that, but if you really want to watch it, it's worth it for one thing. Bryan Cranston.
Who is that?
He's the guy from Breaking Bad.
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah. I
He
knew
is
the name.
in the movie,
Mm.
but I'll spoil it for you. He's in the movie for about 15 minutes.
He's
And
too
his
expensive.
I don't know if it was that or whatever, but they hyped him up in the lead up
Oh,
ad.
God.
They're
of
like,
course.
"Oh, Bryan Cranston's going to be in this. It's going to be great." And then he's killed within the first 15, 20 minutes. Not horribly, he's killed off.
That's funny.
And it's like and then you're stuck with his kid.
I just thought of another thing I really want to talk about on this podcast, but we'll get to it. So let's talk about -1.
Okay.
As a Godzilla guy, I want to hear more of your thoughts. We texted a little bit about it, but like, yeah, tell me how does it compare? How did it live up? Did it live up to your expectations?
So Godzilla's weird.
Right.
Godzilla's really, really weird.
Uh-huh.
So Godzilla in the 50s, 1954, which is weird because the original movie takes place in 1954.
Okay.
But this one takes place in 1947. So it's actually an earlier design, like
Timeline, yeah.
which is very strange because most Godzilla movies, sequels,
Mhm.
they'll start at the 54 version and then the sequels will come out.
Oh.
But then they'll be like, okay, we need to reboot this. And then they'll just retcon everything that happened after the first movie. And then they'll be like, this is the sequel.
Oh, so they never retconned the first movie.
No, so this is the first time that the first movie's been, I don't want to say retconned, but
Ignored.
yeah, it's
basically.
completely, but I loved how they did everything in this movie.
Everything.
Everything to me was just, that's Godzilla. That's Godzilla. I loved them spoiler parts, but you see these in the trailers. I loved the part when he's chasing them in the boat.
So
that
cool.
was insane.
It was intense.
I know. I'm just sitting there. I'd just be sitting there like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. The music also.
Oh,
great.
that was the classic Godzilla theme.
I mean, all music in the whole
Oh
movie.
yeah, it was. Oh, that like opera. That
Yes.
See, did you watch Godzilla, Shin Godzilla?
No.
The stuff with Godzilla in that movie is amazing. The
Mhm.
problem is that movie is, I'm gonna say it, that movie is incredibly boring.
Oh,
Every time Godzilla's on screen, it's amazing.
right.
But it was directed and made by the guy who made Evangelion,
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
and most of the movie is pretty much just a jab at the government for their like delayed response on the tsunami.
Hey, not the recent one.
No, the
Or the
recent
recent
one is straight
earthquake.
up like,
Yeah.
here, this is nature, like what it is. Oh, here's a giant.
No, I meant the recent earthquake in Japan.
Oh yeah.
They've done a really good response.
Well, Shin Godzilla did its job, I guess.
I guess so.
They said, "Oh man, we got to act better next time."
They really roasted us with that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my issue with Shin Godzilla is because it's all just boardroom meetings. Like, what do we do to do this? Well, and then they just sit there and they talk and talk about what they're gonna do, and they do that a lot in old Godzilla movies. But this is just excessive, in my opinion.
That's very mecha stories. Like
Mhm.
Code Geass, one of my favorite mech shows
dude,
ever.
Exposition dumped the show.
Yeah, political, like you're always in boardrooms and
Mhm.
like
But you're enthralled, though.
Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're just sitting here talking, but God, if I'm not like intrigued.
Yeah, mech anime was the first thing that I ever saw where I thought politics can be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as a kid, I didn't like it, but once I was a teenager and or I guess I didn't watch it till late teens, early 20s. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But real politics, I still don't care.
I don't know how much you would enjoy Rubber Suit Godzilla movies.
I've seen some videos. I watched was it Corridor Crew? They did a Corridor Digital's famous YouTube channel. Corridor Crew is like they get the crew together and they watch movies and things and react to the effects. I watched a video where they were reacting to different Godzilla effects over the years. And they were talking about the rubber suit and showing it. It seems like the editing and stuff they did with it to make it work is pretty cool, but it looks goofy.
To me, the stuff in the 60s, 70s, yes, it's really silly.
Yeah.
It doesn't look real at all, especially because you have him doing wrestling moves. And,
Yeah.
like doing like body slams. And
Right.
crouching into a ball and flying away.
You gotta like suspend your disbelief. Is that it?
But to me, I think the best ones are what's known as the Heisei era, the 90s version. And to me, yeah, they're still rubber suit, but Godzilla himself looks so scary. There's one, because Godzilla is a nuclear reactor, essentially.
Yeah.
So
I caught that.
there's one called Godzilla versus Destoroyah. Destoroyah. And in that one, spoilers, Godzilla dies. And that doesn't happen. He dies. But they say through the whole movie, his body is like, there's patches of him that are just glowing orange because he's on fire and smoking because his heart is about to melt down.
Oh, that's crazy.
And when it does, it's going to destroy the world because it's that big of a nuclear reactor.
So you got to kill him.
So they freeze him, essentially. He starts to melt down, and then they freeze everything. But then he transfers all his power to his baby. And then we get a new Godzilla, and then they don't ever continue that series.
I mean, that's kind of -1 did. Not to a baby, but like...
I found out recently, there's a Godzilla ride in Japan. I don't know if you saw it, but where Godzilla fights King Ghidorah. I didn't know this, but the guy who directed all that directed this new movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I don't know if this is true, but supposedly he's confirmed that it's the same universe.
Oh.
And so
as the ride.
The ride universe, so that's Godzilla's now back as a hero in the ride universe.
Oh.
So spoilers, the current Godzilla, he's back to being a villain.
Yeah, I thought he was such a douche. I remember when I first started the movie, because I remember you telling me Godzilla's kind of like an anti-hero, or he's like a hero. He fights the other monsters.
It depends on the version, but yes.
And yeah, so I started this movie thinking like, okay, he's going to be a good guy.
No.
And I'm like, this guy sucks. Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
That's what he originally was, just a force of nature. What I really liked was in the beginning, when you first see him, this Godzilla is actually fairly small.
Mm-hmm. He's very small in the beginning. He's a little guy.
And even when he gets bigger, I think he's shorter than the original Godzilla. And he's 55 meters tall. And I think this new one is 50 meters.
Okay.
So I could be wrong. I need to look that up. But this Godzilla is one of the smaller versions.
But he's
that atomic breath,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the best atomic breaths I've ever seen.
It's wild. Crazy. I loved that this movie made me feel for the characters.
Yes.
I felt like I was watching an anime. I know it's in Japanese, but Japan's really... There's something about the writers there and the way they use music and things that just... It's the same throughout anime as well as in this movie, where they just really brought me into the character's story. And
get ready to never have that feeling again.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. But it was great. And I thought, yeah, this is all spoilers from -1.
If you watch Godzilla 2000, I like those characters a lot.
Okay. But all spoilers for -1. When the girlfriend dies,
I immediately was like, no.
I wasn't, because he just like basically dropped a nuke and she was standing there and got blown away. It's like, oh yeah, she's dead. I did not believe that she was coming back.
There was no rule of thumb, Cody. If you don't see the body, you can never count it out.
With Japan, definitely with Japan. In the U.S., if that was an American-made movie, I feel like she wouldn't have come back.
It depends, because even Game of Thrones holds by that rule.
I guess
If
you're
you
right.
don't see the body, chances are they're probably not dead.
But the way it looked like it happened, to me, her body was ripped to shreds. There was no body left.
She just, well, what happened, what I saw, she just gets blown away and then disappears into the dust.
Yeah, but did the human body handle that? Okay, but when she comes back later, right, and when she's in the hospital, I did tear up. It got me. It had the intended effect. But she has no wound. She just had this bandage on her head, and she just looks like, I'm totally fine, exactly how I was. It's like,
Oh.
wow.
Oh, I'm totally fine, and my makeup is still on.
Yeah, she had all makeup on. It was like, what is this? What?
Oh, what a lovely nap.
I'm
Where are
infected.
my little animal friends? I just watched Snow White, I'm sorry.
She was infected though, but she on her neck.
What was that? I forget.
I googled it, and there's an argument because nobody obviously knows. There's an argument as to whether it's radiation poisoning or it's Godzilla impregnated her. That doesn't sound right to me. I think it's radiation poisoning, but there's a group of people on the internet that believe that she's pregnant with the next Godzilla. Now, I don't really get this because, yes, she was hit by Godzilla's wave or whatever, but a lot of people were. Why is no one else pregnant with Godzilla baby? This is a theory that I saw a YouTube video talking about it, and a lot of comments were like, "Yeah, this makes sense." Blah blah blah. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Why is it on her neck?
It's radiation poisoning, guys. It's radiation.
She got cancer.
Yeah, it's clearly radiation. Like, come on, let's be real. But
That's the most out there thing. I could understand if it was like maybe on her belly.
Yeah.
Or something.
we hear a heartbeat in her.
Oh, yeah. Or like a twitch.
But then still, it wouldn't make any sense. It's like she didn't even come into contact with Godzilla. She just got blown away by the. I mean, she was close. Godzilla grabbed the train or whatever, and she was in
That's
it.
true.
But not close enough.
Hey, I mean, I don't understand how that.
They didn't give us any scene of like, I don't know. I don't know how it would happen.
Honey, you and I, we gonna make a baby. Oh!
And that kid in the movie crying was one of the most realistic child cries I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, yeah. They had to have been like pinching that kid
Yeah.
or something
It
off
was like-
screen.
I'm like,
'Cause I mean,
this
that-
is amazing.
Because that kid, I can't imagine is old enough for them to be like, okay, now cry.
Yeah, it was really good. But I loved. It's like a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I loved it.
It's absolute S tier.
Yeah, but I was kind of sad because one of my Japanese students who loves movies, he went and saw it and he didn't like it.
Nah, well,
Said it's not that good.
You're gonna have
I'm
that.
like, he's the only one who said that to me though. I'm like, okay,
you'll have that.
whatever.
It's. I mean, some people super prefer the wacky insanity of the Showa era, the
Right.
original movies.
If you're like Die Hard,
Yeah, some people like that. Some people like me, I prefer the more. I almost said grounded, but the more.
it was grounded.
No, I mean for the '90s movies. Those
Oh.
are the ones I prefer. They're not grounded at all. But
-1 definitely was. It felt like
Yeah.
it could happen. Some
But-
crazy beast comes out of the sea that we didn't know about.
and that's how Godzilla 2014 is. Like it just feels like, oh crap, this giant monster just came out of nowhere and he's fighting other monsters now.
Yeah, we know so little about the sea. It's like he could definitely, and I loved their plan as well to kill Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Very smart, very cool plan. And then it was so foreshadowed or so hinted at that he was gonna fly. He was not gonna die. He was gonna eject from that plane
He's
seat.
like, there's one more thing I have to show you. Cut away, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yep, he's gonna eject. Well, I was so happy that
That
they
was
did
such
that.
an anime thing.
It was.
That's a super like trope in Japan where it's
Yep.
like that, and they did that thing where they're like, "Come here, I need to tell you something," and then they get real close and they whisper something in their ear,
Yep.
and then you don't see and you never hear what they said.
So much of this movie had anime tropes. I feel like someone who doesn't watch anime, these things would have got them.
Mm.
But for us who are huge anime fans, it's like, this is so anime. We know exactly what you're doing. We know what you're hinting at. It was cool though. I loved it.
I just really hope we do get a sequel out of this.
-2.
Yeah.
Or +1. Wonder what it would
yeah.
be. Oh,
Be-
+1 because she's pregnant.
oh, there. That's why. No, because Shin Godzilla ends with a, it's not a cliffhanger. They freeze him, but they say that it's only temporary. In like 20 years, he's going to wake up. But Shin Godzilla's whole thing is he evolves constantly. Like he always is evolving an adaptation. And at the very end, it cuts out and you zoom in on his tail that's frozen. And the little bitty humanoid Godzilla things are springing from his tail, but they're frozen.
Creepy.
And it's like, oh, his next evolution was likely going to be, his thought was, the only advantage that they have on me is I am one and they are many. So his next evolution was, here's a bunch of little mini Godzillas.
Maybe it's still coming. 20 years. Wait, give it 20 years and then they'll have it come out.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
It really would be. But
if that was the long-term plan.
God, that would be cool. But to me, I'm just like, I would prefer to stick to this current Godzilla because it's a lot more what I want out of Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is cool, but
you think
Shin Godzilla is more or less just like, especially how he looks, there's no emotion going on in there. There's not a whole lot of thinking going on, and he's just kind of walking around. But with this new Godzilla, there's thinking, there's emotion. You can tell he's thinking about something.
Do you think the Americans will follow this trend with their Godzilla movies?
Oh, no, they're going straight. What we're doing, we're going straight back to the 90s, baby. It's all wacky and crazy.
So it's a perfect opportunity to have both. America do the crazy, Japan do the grounded.
See, that's what I keep saying in these Godzilla groups, because currently in the MonsterVerse, Godzilla, this, not a spoiler, but this is just an aesthetic thing that's happening, is he's usually blue. Well, in this new movie, he's pink. His spikes are going to have a pink glow.
Oh, cool.
And to me, I love this because one of my favorite Godzillas is Godzilla 2000, and his spikes are a purple-pink color. And they glow orange, but so to me, I'm like, yes, that's an immediate throwback to one of my favorite Godzillas. So I'm for it. But, and I think he gets buff, too. I think he trims down and gets a little buff. And there's a scene where he starts running, and everybody says it looks silly, and it kind of does, but I love it.
Right. Dakota, I need to move us on.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could talk about Godzilla all day.
Because I want to keep this podcast under an hour, and I really want to talk about The Boy and the Heron.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Because we saw that as well. We didn't see Godzilla together. We saw it 1 day apart. But we did see The Boy and the Heron together.
Like a week later.
Yeah. Can you give me your thoughts on The Boy and the Heron? I have a lot to say about it, actually.
I still don't know what.
Okay.
I don't know what that movie's about.
So when the movie ended... Dakota, I think, was the first one who looked over and he's like, does anyone know what happened?
My wife and my sister understood it. Said they understood it.
Yeah. They said they did.
No, I believe they did. I
believe they understood something. I don't know.
I didn't understand it, but I believe that they understood it. I believe my wife when she says she understood it. It's my sister that I'm like, did you? Did you, Jada?
Right. But did you enjoy it, though?
I did. I did enjoy it. The animation, incredible. Voice acting, 10 out of 10. The music, oh my God.
Yeah, great.
That music, every time that violin score would come on, then that just whimsical ambience. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to. And when they show the blue sky, oh my gosh.
It was so beautiful. I love that hand-drawn anime aesthetic. It's so gorgeous.
It is one of the absolute most beautiful 2D hand-drawn animated movies, not just anime, movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, incredibly well done.
Which is fitting that it has one of the absolute ugliest main characters I have ever seen on the planet.
The boy?
The Heron.
Oh, the Heron?
God.
Yeah.
I hate looking at him.
He was so cool when he was just a heron.
Yeah, and then he'd smile and you'd see teeth and he'd be creepy. I was like, ooh, this is cool. And then he pulls back his hood and it's that guy. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't like that they turned him into fat little whatever he is. I wish they would have kept him as creepy heron the whole time.
Or explained anything.
Yeah. Well, I got to mention, because we saw it in the English dub, Robert Pattinson as the Heron was incredible.
You would never know going in that was him.
He's such a good actor, man.
He really is. He's won me over.
Yeah, he constantly impresses me. I mean, he never had to win me over.
Well, for the long time, I only knew him as the Twilight guy.
Yeah, but as soon as you find out that he hated that role, you're like, hold on. Maybe there's something to this guy.
Is that why everything seems half-assed?
Yeah, he could not care less. And then he barely had to try, right? And then everyone would just be like, Edward! It's like,
That is true.
yeah,
Oh,
it's funny.
And he's really good as Batman, in my opinion.
I need to see that still.
It's like 3 hours long. Get ready.
That's why I haven't watched it, because every time I think about it, I'm like 3 hours.
It's not. They could have trimmed 45 minutes out of that movie.
I'll probably eventually watch it and just like take breaks. That's what I do sometimes with really long movies.
Mhm.
And I still really enjoy it. I just find a good spot where I'm like, okay, nothing's happening right here. I'm gonna just tomorrow I'll pick it back up.
I do that, but I'll like come back like an hour later or something.
Sometimes I'll do it in the same day. Yeah, but like make it a whole day experience. Take a break, go do something else, come back.
Depends on the movie for me.
I wanted to talk to you about Boy and the Heron though, because I did look into all the meaning.
Okay,
I
so
watched a
what-
bunch of YouTube videos about it.
So what is it about? I meant to, but I just kept forgetting.
It is the story itself.
It's got to be based on a book or something.
It
right?
is,
Okay.
but it's heavily changed. Heavily changed. The book is called The Way We Live, I believe,
I think I've heard of it.
which is actually the title of The Boy and the Heron in Japan.
Oh, okay.
But they changed it to The Boy and the Heron here.
Why?
I don't know why they do that. I
I
don't know.
hate that. Real quick, back to Godzilla. They used to do that to him.
Really?
His second movie was Godzilla Raids Again.
Mhm.
Or I think in one of his movies they changed the title to Gigantus the Fire Monster.
That is so dumb.
It's bad.
That is so dumb.
It's really bad.
Gigantus the Fire
And that's
Monster.
the title. They're like Gigantus the Fire Monster.
I would never watch that. I'd be like,
No.
okay, what is this?
It's bad.
As a kid, I would.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'd be like, what is this? You'd have to sell me with the trailer for sure.
But anyway, so
The Boy and the Heron story doesn't matter. Though what it is, the entire movie is like a reflection of Miyazaki's. Oh, we didn't even mention it's the new Ghibli movie.
oh yeah.
It was supposed to be Hayao Miyazaki's final movie, but of course he's back. He's doing more. You know how he does.
He
but-
comes in. He's this dude that'll come in and be like, I hate everything. Let it all burn.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go back and do it though.
Well, what the movie is it's all a reflection of his life. The kid version. I can't remember the kid's name now.
So his mom died then.
Well, I watched a lot. He did watch, I think he saw a hospital fire, or there was a fire or something that he saw. It wasn't actually his mom who died, I don't believe. But yeah, he was alive around the same period of time, growing up that age. And he, basically the boy version, the boy in the movie, is meant to be Miyazaki as a boy. And the old man, his great uncle or whoever, whatever he is, the one who's controlling the other world,
Okay.
that's him now. And the 13 blocks that he has are the 13 movies that Ghibli's made. And he uses the pencil to push them into place, like he uses the pencil to draw the movies. And the king, the Pigeon King, or what is he? Is he a pigeon? I don't remember now. No.
Yeah, they were like pigeons of some
The Bird
kind.
King guy
Yeah.
who comes and cuts it. He's meant to represent like other people taking over Ghibli after he's gone, and they don't understand it, destroy it, and then the whole world that he's created falls. It's actually really epic. I can't remember all the details, but it's all symbolism talking about his fears for the future of Ghibli and that he doesn't know who to pass Ghibli onto because he thinks the only person who can
properly
do it is himself, and he wants to give it to its younger self, but he can't do that.
Not even his son, huh? Who's done a few movies.
Yeah, but
with
his
the studio.
movies have generally not been
Which ones did he
liked.
do? Tales from Earthsea.
I can't remember the exact ones. I think there was one that people liked, but one of his I know is like considered to be the worst one. I think the first one that he did, but I don't remember which one it is.
I
now.
think he did Tales of Earthsea, and I think that one is supposed to be okay.
Yeah, and then I was watching more about it, and there's this clip where Miyazaki is talking about like, oh yeah, Ghibli will end. It'll end.
Oh yeah, and he's like, let it end.
Yeah.
We got the name from a plane.
But I was reading about it, and it's like a difference apparently in between cultures. Like in Japan, they like to believe that things begin and they end, and it's okay to have an ending to things like this. Where in US, we want to begin things and it's got to go forever. Disney's got to go forever. Disney can never end. But yeah, he's like sharing, in a way, the movie's him sharing his belief that like Ghibli should end.
Huh.
And we shouldn't try to just pass it on to people who don't understand the vision and don't understand what it was supposed to be. Let it end. I just think it's kind of cool. It's very
Kinda
artsy.
cool. It's cool from an artist perspective,
Yeah.
but
A
there's a lot of people that need
story-wise-
work.
Yeah. Well, Okay, yeah, but I mean, that doesn't mean you can't. They can go to other places. There's tons of studios. You can make your own studio.
I guess.
I think it's more, maybe he's saying like Ghibli will continue in name, but to him, it's done when he's gone.
So when he's passed.
Yeah.
And he keeps doing that thing where he's like, I'm retired. But that last movie sucked. Never mind.
My problem with Boy and the Heron is that it's the whole story behind it and the symbolism is really cool, but as a movie, if you don't know any of that, it's really confusing and really slow to build. And
now that I know that, I want to watch it again.
I know, me too. I want to see it again.
I want to
look
watch
for
a
everything.
video the way I can, because you're relaying it to me, but I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah, there is so much more. I watched like a 30-minute video. I'm telling you everything in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so
but-
yeah, I'd like to watch watch a video and then watch that again, because I'm sure it'd probably like make me, oh my god, it'd probably make me cry.
It was cool watching the video and them explaining it all to me. It was like blowing my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I need to see it again eventually.
Eventually. Speaking of Ghibli, I got my sister Jada. My sister JC got me this shirt, but my sister Jada, I got her the Studio Ghibli DVD collection with all 24 movies.
So cool. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Because
Wow.
she's a big fan of the Ghibli movies.
Wow.
And she was like, is this all? I was like, it's all of them, all 24. And he only
Did 13.
13.
Yeah, the ones in the block. I think it's 13. Is that right? Is that how many blocks there were?
I don't remember.
Well, however
I
many
had to go
blocks
pee
there
at one
are in the
point.
movie, that's how many movies he directed.
I had to go pee at one point, and I think it was that part.
It was. Yes, it was.
I was like, because right before that, it was nothing. Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll go pee right now. And then I got back, and everything was happening.
Yeah, during that part, he's telling him you have to keep these blocks up with this pencil. And like, that's the biggest like symbolism in the whole movie. You missed that part. But I remember you walked out when you came back. I'm thinking,
So what's the
Things
heron
changed.
represent?
can't remember. I don't know.
And why does he look like that?
Well, not every single last thing represents these things, but a lot of it does. The heron may have just been a cool original character. I don't remember what
I guess if
It
it's
was.
in the book.
it might have been in the book. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to say, or we're getting about to the hour? Or recommend? It's your recommendation.
I can recommend some things. So last year, I did the math. I read a total, and this is big for me. This is a big goal for me. I did a total of 6 books, 7 if you count the audiobook of Silmarillion.
We don't. Just play it. I don't care.
I recommend reading.
What do you mean?
Reading, just read some
Oh,
books.
in general?
Yeah. read
I'm
some
so
books.
glad you've come around on reading, man.
Read some books. I never disliked reading. I had a
In
really-
high school, I could not get you to read anything.
that was high school was bad.
Yeah.
But I never if the book interested me, I always would like it.
Okay.
It's just even now I have a hard time focusing like when I read.
Right.
I just started reading The Jungle Book
That's cool.
because I'm still going through classics.
Mm.
I read 6 books last year. I read Peter Pan, Call of the Wild, some Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi book.
Do you have the illustrated version of the classic ones?
No.
Oh, that's what I want to get. I have them on my wish list on Amazon.
Which classics do you mean?
Peter Pan, I believe, is in there.
Is it a
Little
little-
Mermaid,
is it like
Alice
a
in
little blue book?
Wonderland. I'm not sure. It's by the same that Harry Potter one I have over there. It's by the same author as that one, Mina Lima, I think.
So they do have like graphic novel illustrated versions of these books.
They're not graphic novel; they're illustrated versions. Yeah, so all the text of the book is still there, but then it's like
Got like a
I'll have to open that book and show it to you. Have you seen this book before?
Uh-uh.
I'll show it to you after. You'll get an idea.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, I won't try to explain it. I'll show you
Okay.
later.
But yeah, I really recommend reading. Read the classics. What else did I read? I read all of Tales of Norse Mythology.
That's cool.
That's a really good read. And I finished it off. The last book I read Christmas Carol. It's a really short
Oh.
book, but technically it's a book, so
Yeah, or is it a novella?
I'll count it as I
Whatever.
read something.
Novella, novel, they're both books.
It was 100. It was
Whatever.
103 pages.
That sounds like a novella, but
Took
that's
me-
still cool.
Took me a few days. Took me 3 days. I just read like.
I love something short like that I can get through and just get a story and enjoy it. Same
And
with
it was
video
great.
games.
It's funny. I guess I can recommend before we go, read A Christmas Carol. You've seen it a million times, seen the play, seen the movie, whatever. Read A Christmas Carol. I swear to God, in the last little monologue that's in there, you will hear music in your head. It's funny, but you'll hear it.
I'll have to try.
Especially if you celebrate Christmas. If not, it's not for you.
I'll have to read it sometime.
So,
Speaking of books, I've been reading. Getting into art books. Those are all.
That's
art books
cool.
over there. Yeah,
very cool.
I just finished Naruto art book, and it was cool because it's not just art. You get stuff from the author, and they're talking about the images, and just really quickly, I thought it was so inspiring because the author of Naruto throughout this book, he keeps talking about how he always has like imposter syndrome, and he doesn't feel like he's a good artist. He doesn't feel like he feels embarrassed to be seen as like this popular. That his thing became so popular next to all this other stuff that like really deserves it. I just thought it was cool to see someone who's so
He's humble.
Well, it's not just like humility. It's he's so undeniably successful with Naruto, but he still questions himself. And he's like, I don't think I belong here. I don't know what I'm doing. That to me is inspiring. It's like nobody really ever
I think the
knows.
author of My Hero has a similar way of thinking.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or I don't know if it's to that degree, but he also is just like, my work's not good. Why is it here?
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, that's about an hour, I guess. We'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Talk to you later. Stay nerdy.